Hey everyone, Alex here, and today we're going to be talking about generating PDFs in n8n. PDF generation is one of those things that feels like it should be really easy, but can often be surprisingly tricky. So I'm going to go through 4 approaches. Some are going to be free, some are going to involve paid third-party tools, some you can self-host, others you can't. And I do want to put out a disclaimer just at the beginning here that I'm the founder of DocuPotion, and DocuPotion is one of the tools I'm going to talk about a bit later on in the video. I think it's the best tool for certain scenarios, but certainly not for everyone. Okay, let's get into it. The first approach is to use a Google Docs template. You can see here I've designed an invoice in Google Docs, and I've put in these placeholder values, and I'm going to replace these placeholder values with actual data from my data source in my n8n workflow. Now, in my case, I'm going to be using this Google Sheet as my data source. You can see here I have one tab for invoices, and another one with line items, where each line item is linked to the specific invoice. And I'm basically going to use a bunch of find and replaces to change the placeholder values here with my values from here. So I'm getting the data from my Google Sheet, I'm doing some formatting for the JSON for the line items, I'm then copying it, and then this is really where the kind of magic happens here. In the updated document action, we're taking all the fields with placeholders like invoice number, and we're replacing it with the data from the Google Sheet. So let's just run this and see how it goes. And if we open that up, we should get our nicely formatted PDF. And you can see it's exactly what we get. Now, this approach is great because it's free. It works with pretty straightforward documents. There are 2 areas it kind of falls down in. Number 1 is line items are a bit of a pain. You know, you can see at the moment what I've done is I've hard-coded in 2 separate line items, and I've basically used a find and replace on all of these 8 values. We're not necessarily going to have the same amount of line items for every invoice. So if I were to add a 3rd line item to invoice number 1 and then rerun my workflow, what we'll see is it's not going to actually add that 3rd line item to the table in the invoice. If we open that up, we'll see this time we still only have the 2. Now the total price has increased to the correct amount for all 3, but we're not getting the extra line there. So that's a bit annoying. And then the other kind of drawback with this approach is that it's just hard to do really nice formatting with Google Docs. If you're designing legal contracts or things like that, I would recommend this approach. But if you're looking for like a bit more styling, then this probably isn't going to be able to give you that. The next approach is to self-host your own PDF generation infrastructure, and 2 of the most popular tools in the n8n community for doing this are Puppeteer and then also Gotenberg. Both of these approaches are free. You can self-host, which I know is important for some people, and I would recommend it if you need both of those things and you also don't mind the additional work involved in getting it set up and also maintaining it over time. The great thing about these approaches is you're dealing with HTML as opposed to just like a Google Doc template, which means you get like full flexibility over the design of your PDF. Just to give you an example, this is a HTML template that I designed for a report, and you'll see here when we execute it, we get this really nicely formatted client report. And if I run the entire workflow, we're actually going to take data from another Google Sheet I've set up and some other tabs in it, and we're going to get a really nicely formatted PDF out the end. Let's just open up the link here. Yeah, so you can see there you're getting your nicely formatted client report. This approach can also handle line items. So you'll see here another workflow that I've set up with Puppeteer. Once we generate our invoice for this, we're going to get no issue like we did the last time with our Google Doc template. If we open this up, you'll see here we have our 3 line items, no problem. So that's another benefit of using one of your self-hosted options. I'm using Puppeteer in these examples. I will be honest, it took a bit of time to set up. There is a Puppeteer n8n node, but I couldn't get it working. So what I ended up doing was deploying Chromium as its own container in Docker Compose, and then I called it using this HTTP request node here. So a bit more work involved, but gives you total flexibility, and obviously you can self-host, which is a big plus. Gotenberg is also a bit tricky to set up, but there's a really good video from another YouTube channel that I'm going to link to above that does walk you through the steps involved in getting Gotenberg set up. Another approach is to use a third-party tool that handles the PDF generation for you and also lets you build reusable templates with a lot of flexibility. There's a number of tools out there that have verified n8n nodes for this approach, tools like Craft My PDF, PDF Monkey, Documento, and I do want to mention DocuPotion, my own tool for this use case as well. We work quite similar to the other tools, but we do have one thing that makes us quite different, and that's our template generator. So instead of having a drag and drop builder where you have to build the template yourself, what we do is we have an AI builder that generates the template from your description and also the sample data you provide. So I'm going to put in monthly client report as my template name. I'm going to ask for a 4-page report for my SEO agency click results. And then I'm also going to paste in the name of the merge fields that I want. You'll see I'm specifying some as lists and some as just static values. And then I'm going to click on the create template button, and the DocuPotion editor is going to take all the information I've given it and it's going to create my template for me. It does take a few seconds. I'm just going to fast forward through this part of the generation.
A few moments later.
And you can see here we've got a really nicely formatted template. We have the merge fields that we provided the template builder with. We have our different pages, and we can view this with some sample data as well, just to give a better sense of how it'll look. And we can even change the sample data that's used in the preview. So instead of being prepared by Maya, we could change that to John Doe, and that's going to show up in the preview as well. Just gives us a better sense of how it's going to look. And if we want to make changes, so let's say we wanted to update the logo, I'm just going to upload an image here. I can then tell DocuPotion to change the logo on the first page to image 1, send that off, and it's going to make the change. And you can do this for any change you want. You can change the font type, the font color, you can remove sections, you can ask for new sections to be added. You'll see there our logo is getting added. Okay, let's go back into n8n and check out this workflow that I've built. We're pulling in data from a Google Sheet here. We have a couple of tabs. We have the Fields tab, we have KPIs and recommendations, both of which are arrays. And we're formatting all of that into a JSON object. And that's really useful because we're then going to create a PDF using DocuPotion. So I'm going to search for DocuPotion. I'm going to use the create a document action. And I'm going to make sure I'm connected to my DocuPotion account by simply going back to the dashboard, grabbing my API key from here, pasting it in, and clicking save. I've already done that. I'm then going to paste in the template ID, which you can either get from here or by opening up the template that you are working with and copying it from there. We're going to leave the output as file. There are also URL and base64 options available. And we are going to change the name of this to client name.pdf. I'm also just going to copy this, and I'm going to take the entire JSON object for template data. So I'm just going to paste that in and get rid of the client name. And then let's run our workflow. And what we should see is we get all that data from the Google Sheet. We put it into our DocuPotion template here, and we get a nice PDF report spit out the end. Looks like that's happened. Let's open it up. And sure enough, you can see there we're getting the client name, Northwind Outdoor Co., which matches the name inside here. Prepared by Maya, and it's also prepared by Maya. So we're putting in the data to our document. You can see we don't have the logo, the new one that I updated. And the reason for that is I didn't click publish back in my template editor. Whereas if I was to run this action again and download the PDF, we would see the new logo. Let's just give that a second. Download it, open it up, and you can see there we have the new logo. I recommend using a third-party tool like DocuPotion if you don't want to host your own PDF generation infrastructure and you don't mind paying the extra cost. The last approach I want to mention is HTML to PDF APIs. So these are typically external third-party tools that again will charge a fee for usage. And the difference between these tools and the ones I outlined in approach 3 are that you typically provide the raw HTML as opposed to getting a template builder. So one example of this kind of service is pdf.co. You can see I'm using their node here, and they require that you provide the HTML to them. using this particular API of theirs. So that's what I've done here. I've built out a HTML template and I've passed it into this node here. We're then going to reference that node in the PDFco API, and when we generate that, we're going to get our nicely formatted PDF out the end. Let's just open that up. And you can see there, that's our PDF. So I'd recommend this approach if you don't mind using a third-party tool, if you don't mind building your own HTML templates and not relying on a template builder, and if you want to pay a bit less than the template tools, they tend to be a bit less expensive, the HTML to PDF APIs. So those are the 4 approaches to generating PDFs in n8n. Hopefully this has given you a good overview and you have an idea of which approach is best for your own use case. If you do have any questions, you can let me know in the comments below and I will answer. If you have found this video useful, it'd be great if you could like the video and also subscribe to our channel.